Hello students, I am Dr. Manjunath V from Maharani's Commerce and Management College, Mysore. Today in this video, let us learn about determination of working capital requirement based on percentage information given. In our previous video, we discussed about calculation of working capital requirement when the information provided with respect to amount. Sometimes if the information is provided in terms of per unit, under those circumstances, we use to calculate the working capital requirement. But here in this video, we will concentrate on an illustration where information with respect to working capital requirement is provided in terms of percentage. Let us consider an example of illustration. Estimate the working capital requirement of PQR Limited from the following information. Estimated production 52,000 units. Estimated ratios of cost to selling price. So here this particular word we need to concentrate. Estimated ratios of cost to selling price. These are all the ratios which is given in an illustration. It's not the amount. Please observe particulars and the cost proportionate ratios are given, and this ratios is to be compared with selling price. Raw material 50%, direct wages 10% of cost, manufacturing overhead 15% cost as compared to selling price, and selling overhead is 10% cost as compared to selling price. Additional information is also provided. Raw materials are remain in store for 2 months before production. Every unit of production remain in process for 2 months, which indicates it's a work in progress. Every unit of production remain in process. In the sense, it's a work in progress for 2 months. Finished goods remain in warehouse for 4 months. After the completion of raw materials into finished goods, the finished goods will remain in stock at the warehouse for 4 months. Credit allowed by supplier. Whatever the materials we purchase, for such materials, the suppliers or the creditors allow a credit of 3 months to us. Time lag in payment of wages to be taken as 1 month, and time lag in payment of overheads to be taken as half month. In the sense, manufacturing overhead and selling overhead both are considered for this adjustment. Half month time lag of payment for overheads to be considered. Credit allowed to customers 3 months. We allowed a credit to customers. In the sense, sundry debtors calculation for which we need to take 3 months of credit period. One more adjustment is given. 20% of output is sold for cash. 20% means 1 divided by 5. 1 divided by 5, that is 20%. 20 divided by 100. Simplify it. 20 ones are and 25s are 100. So 1/5 is sold on cash basis. Then remaining part should be taken as credit sales. That is 1 minus 1 by 5. The remaining balance is 4 by 5. So this 4 by 5 to be taken as credit sales for calculating the value of sundry debtors. Selling price is given. Its selling price per unit value rupees 80 per unit, 80. Both production and sales are in regular cycles. Assume 4 weeks in a month. Please take note of this. Assume 4 weeks in a month. In the sense, if it is 2 months, then 8 weeks are there. 1 month consists of 4 weeks. 2 months consist of 8 weeks. Like this, we need to change all these months calculations into weeks. So let us concentrate on the solution part. First, here in this illustration, per unit value of material, direct wages, manufacturing overhead and selling overhead is not given. So that's why the first working note is to be prepared in order to arrive at the value of raw material in terms of per unit, direct wages per unit value, manufacturing and selling overhead per unit value. So first calculation, working note on calculation of cost per unit of various expenses. Given, this is already given in an illustration, estimated ratios of cost to selling price. The selling price is 80 rupees. We need to consider this for calculation of various types of expenditures. Raw material is 50% of selling price, direct wages 10% of cost as compared to selling price, and then manufacturing overhead is 15% of cost incur on selling price per unit of 80 and selling overhead 10% to be considered as compared to selling price. So now calculations. First one is raw materials. For this 50% of selling price per unit. That is 50% of selling price per unit in the sense per unit is selling price 80 into 50%. 50 divided by 100 which equals to 40. So 40 rupees per unit value for raw materials. For the production of 1 unit, 40 rupees of worth of material is required. Similar type of calculations to be made for direct wages, manufacturing overhead and selling overhead. Second type of expenditure is direct wages. Direct wages for which it's 10% is given, 10% of cost incurs direct wages, and this 10% is to be calculated on ratio of cost to selling price. So 80 rupees selling price on which 10%. 80 rupees selling price on which 10% is 10 divided by 100 which equals to 0.8. 8 rupees per unit direct wages expenses. Next one is manufacturing overhead. 15% consists of manufacturing overhead. This is to be compared with selling price. 15% of selling price per unit, that is 80 into 15 divided by 100 which equals to 12 rupees per unit manufacturing overhead. The last one is selling overhead, that is 10% of cost of expenditures of selling overhead. It is to be compared with selling price per unit. So 80 rupees into 10%, that is 10 divided by 100 is equal to 8 rupees. 8 rupees per unit is selling overhead. The total of all these 4 items is total cost 68 rupees per unit. So this calculation is very much required well in advance before preparing the statement showing estimation of working capital requirement, because this per unit information is to be ascertained so that it can be implemented in order to arrive at the value of raw materials blocked up in this investment and direct wages, lag in payment, manufacturing overheads amount, selling and distribution overhead amounts. Now to arrive at the value of these items, first we need per unit information. That's why this working note is very much required in order to solve the illustration. Now, preparation or estimation of working capital requirement. Assume 4 weeks in a month. This is to be kept in mind while solving the illustration. ನಮಗೆಲ್ಲ ಗೊತ್ತಿದೆ ಈಗಾಗಲೇ ಕಾಲಮ್ ಹೇಗೆ ಹಾಕೋಬೇಕು ಅಂತ. ಎಸ್ಟಿಮೇಷನ್ ಆಫ್ ವರ್ಕಿಂಗ್ ಕ್ಯಾಪಿಟಲ್ ರಿಕ್ವೈರ್ಮೆಂಟ್ಗೆ ಸಂಬಂಧಪಟ್ಟಂತೆ ಒಂದು ಪರ್ಟಿಕ್ಯುಲರ್ಸ್ ಕಾಲಮು, ಇನ್ನೊಂದು ಅಮೌಂಟ್ ಕಾಲಮು, ಮತ್ತು ಇನ್ನರ್ ಕಾಲಮ್ ಕೂಡ ನಾವು ಮೇಂಟೈನ್ ಮಾಡ್ಬೋದು. ಏನಾದರೂ ಅಡ್ಜಸ್ಟ್ಮೆಂಟ್ಸ್ಗಳು ವರ್ಕ್ ಇನ್ ಪ್ರೋಗ್ರೆಸ್ಗೆ ಸಂಬಂಧಪಟ್ಟದನ್ನು ಬರೀಬೇಕು ಅಂತ ಬಂದಾಗ ಇನ್ನರ್ ಕಾಲಮ್ನು ಕೂಡ ನಾವು ಮೇಂಟೈನ್ ಮಾಡೋ ಅವಕಾಶ ಇದೆ. ಫಸ್ಟ್ ಕರೆಂಟ್ ಅಸೆಟ್ಸ್ ವಿ ನೀಡ್ ಟು ರೆಕಾರ್ಡ್ ಒನ್ ಬೈ ಒನ್. ವಿ ನೀಡ್ ಟು ಲಿಸ್ಟ್ ದಿ ಕರೆಂಟ್ ಅಸೆಟ್ಸ್. as per the given information, the stock of raw materials is the first one. The stock of raw materials, that is average on an average of 2 months, that is 52,000 units of production expected into 8 divided by 52. Why it is taken as 8 divided by 52? Because 2 months indicated. 2 months in the sense 8 weeks. 4 weeks in a month. So 2 months consists of 8 weeks. 8 divided by total number of weeks in a year, that is 52, into 40. Into 40 rupees is the per unit what we already ascertained in a working note, that is 40 rupees per unit for stock of raw materials. Then the amounts we derived is 3,20,000, the value of stock of raw materials to be recorded in the outer column. The second item is to be calculated is work in progress. Work in progress, on an average, the information is provided as 2 months. Again, 2 months in the sense 8 weeks is to be taken into account. Work in progress consists of 3 major components. First one, raw materials. Raw materials, that is 52,000 units into 2 months in the sense 8 divided by 52 into raw material value per unit is 40, that equals to 3,20,000 to be recorded in the inner column, because still 2 more items is to be recorded under the head of work in progress. The second component which includes in work in progress is direct wages. Now to arrive at direct wages, calculation is 52,000 units, 8 weeks, that is 2 months in the sense it's 8 weeks, 8 divided by 52 into half, 50%, that is 1 by 2 into 8 rupees per unit as per our calculation in the working note, the per unit value of direct wages. If we simplify this, then we obtain 32,000, the amount of direct wages to be recorded in the inner column. This 50% application regarding which we discussed in detail in the previous videos. Please watch the previous videos with respect to how it should be applied as 50% for direct wages and overheads. That is manufacturing overhead, one more component involved in work in progress. Manufacturing overheads, 52,000 level of units into 8 divided by 52, that is 2 months of work in progress, 8 divided by 52 into half, 50% to be applied, into 12, that is per unit value what we ascertained in the working note. If we simplify this, we obtain 48,000. Is 48,000 amount to be recorded in the inner column. Now we have 3 components recorded under the head of work in progress: raw materials, direct wages, manufacturing overheads. One more overhead is also given in an illustration, that is selling overhead, but selling overhead will not come under the category of work in progress. Only production overhead or manufacturing overhead or factory overhead should be taken under the head of work in progress. So that's why here we are not going to write any selling overhead under the head of work in progress. Now all these 3 components total is rupees 4 lakhs recorded on the outer column. Next item of current assets, stock of finished goods. Stock of finished goods, regarding which an adjustment is also given. Stock of finished goods will remain in warehouse for a period of 4 months. For a period of 4 months is given, so that is average for 4 months is mentioned. Calculation at the level of 52,000 units of production, that is 52,000 into 16 divided by 52. Why it is 16? 4 months, that is for 1 month consists of 4 weeks. For 4 months it's 16 weeks divided by total number of weeks in a year, 52, into 68. What is the 68? The 68 is the total cost we ascertained based upon the given information. Observe the working note. We calculated the price per unit of raw material, direct wages, manufacturing overheads, and then selling overhead. The total of four components is taken as total cost, and the total cost is 68 rupees per unit to be taken at the time of calculation of value of finished stock. The simplification of procedure of this is 10,88,000. The 10,88,000 is the amount is to be mentioned on the outer column. Please remember these three items. These three items is to be considered for total when we total the total current assets. Sundry debtors is one more item is to be recorded under current assets. The credit period extended for customers is 3 months. So that's why 3 months is mentioned. Here credit sales in the sense 20% of output are sold for cash. The remaining 80% to be taken for credit sales. So that's why 1 minus 20% in the sense 20 divided by 100, that is 20 ones are 20 fives are. So 1 minus 1 by 5 is considered is equal to 4 by 5. If we simplify this, then 4 divided by 5. In other words, one more simple method is to calculate the credit sales proportion is 20% is cash sales. Remainder part out of 100, 20% is cash sales. The remaining part is 80%. 80% in the sense 80 divided by 100. 80 divided by 100. If we simplify it, 24s are 80, 25s are 100. 4 divided by 5. Easily we can arrive at 4 divided by 5 by just mentioning as 80 divided by 100. If we simplify it, then we can obtain 4 divided by 5. So 4/5 of total output to be taken for sundry debtors calculation. That's why 52,000 is the total estimated production, out of which into 4 by 5 is to be taken. Into 4 by 5 into 12 divided by 52. Why it is 12? Because it is 3 months. 3 months in the sense 1 month consists of 4 weeks, 3 months consists of 12 weeks. So 12 divided by 52 into selling price should not be taken. Only total cost should be considered for sundry debtors. We discussed in detail in an interaction class and as well as in the previous video with respect to calculation of sundry debtors based on total cost only. So 68 rupees is the total cost as per our calculation in a working note. The simplification of this is 6,52,800. 6,52,800 is recorded on the outer column, and then the total current assets. The total current assets by considering all the current assets items, stock of materials, work in progress, finished goods, sundry debtors. 24,60,800, and this is to be treated as total current assets. Now the second part of the calculation is listing out of various current liabilities. First one is sundry creditors. Sundry creditors, the credit extended by suppliers is 3 months. The credit extended by suppliers is 3 months. That is 52,000 into 12 divided by 52 into 40. That is 12 in the sense 3 months is equal to 12. So that's why 12 divided by 52 into 40 is per unit value of raw material. 4,80,000 is the amount of sundry creditors. It is to be recorded on the outer column. The second current liabilities is outstanding direct wages. There is a lag in payment of wages and the time given is 1 month. 1 month of lag in payment or postponement of payment of wages. 52,000 is the level of units into 4 divided by 52. That is 1 month is equal to 4 weeks. 4 divided by 52 into 8 rupees per unit. Direct wages as per our calculation is 8 rupees per unit. Amount obtained is 32,000 and to be recorded in the outer column. One more is outstanding manufacturing overhead. Outstanding manufacturing overhead, the time lag in payment of overhead is half month. Half month means 15 days. In a 15 days, there are 2 weeks. In 1 month, if it is 4 weeks, for half month, it should be 2 weeks. So 2 weeks should be taken into account. 52,000 is the level of units into 2 divided by 52 into 12 rupees per unit as per our calculation of manufacturing overhead. So 24,000 is the value of outstanding manufacturing overhead to be recorded on the outer column. And the last outstanding overhead is selling overhead, that is lag in payment of overhead is half month. The same 2 weeks is to be taken for this calculation. 52,000 is the level of units. 2 divided by 52 into 8 rupees per unit as per our working note. The simplification of this is 16,000 and to be recorded on the outer column. Now we have 4 different components of current liabilities. Sundry creditors 4,80,000, outstanding direct wages 32,000, outstanding manufacturing overhead 24,000 and selling overhead for 16,000. Outstanding selling overhead is 16,000. Please mention here as an outstanding. Now total current liabilities. The total current liabilities is 5,52,000. The total of these 4 items. Now difference between total current assets and total current liabilities. The difference between these two to be categorized as net working capital requirement, that is A minus B for easy identification purpose. Here in this case it's 24,60,800 minus 5,52,000. Reminder difference is 19,08,800. This is net working ಕ್ಯಾಪಿಟಲ್ ರಿಕ್ವೈರ್ಮೆಂಟ್. ಈ ಒಂದು ವಿಡಿಯೋನಲ್ಲಿ ಪರ್ಸೆಂಟೇಜ್ ಬೇಸಿಸ್ ಮೇಲೆ ಇನ್ಫಾರ್ಮೇಷನನ್ನು ಕೊಟ್ಟಾಗ ಯಾವ ರೀತಿ ಮೊದಲು ನಾವು ಆ ಪರ್ಸೆಂಟೇಜಲ್ಲಿ ಇರುವಂಥ ಇನ್ಫಾರ್ಮೇಷನನ್ನು ಪರ್ ಯೂನಿಟ್ ಇನ್ಫಾರ್ಮೇಷನ್ನಾಗಿ ಪರಿವರ್ತಿಸ್ಕೋಬೇಕು ಅನ್ನೋದ್ರ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ತಿಳ್ಕೊಂಡ್ವಿ. ಪರಿವರ್ತನೆ ಮಾಡಿಕೊಂಡಾದ ನಂತರ ಪರ್ ಯೂನಿಟ್ ವ್ಯಾಲ್ಯೂ ಗೊತ್ತಿದೆ, ಅಡಿಷ್ನಲ್ ಇನ್ಫಾರ್ಮೇಷನ್ಸನ್ನು ಕೊಟ್ಟಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ಆ ಅಡಿಷ್ನಲ್ ಇನ್ಫಾರ್ಮೇಷನ್ನು ಮತ್ತು ಪರ್ ಯೂನಿಟ್ ಇವೆರಡನ್ನೂ ಕೂಡ ಗಮನದಲ್ಲಿ ಇಟ್ಕೊಂಡು ಈಗಾಗಲೇ ನಾವು ಯಾವ ರೀತಿ ಕಲ್ತಿದ್ದೀವಿ ಎಸ್ಟಿಮೇಷನ್ ಆಫ್ ವರ್ಕಿಂಗ್ ಕ್ಯಾಪಿಟಲ್ ರಿಕ್ವೈರ್ಮೆಂಟನ್ನು ಯಾವ ರೀತಿ ಕಂಡುಹಿಡಿಬೇಕು ಅಂತ ನಾವು ಈಗಾಗಲೇ ಪ್ರೀವಿಯಸ್ ವೀಡಿಯೋಸ್ಗಳಲ್ಲಿ ಕಲ್ತಿದ್ದೀವಿ. ಆ ಒಂದು ಪರ್ಟಿಕ್ಯುಲರ್ ಪ್ರೊಸೀಜರನ್ನು ಫಾಲೋ ಮಾಡೋದ್ರ ಮುಖಾಂತರ ನಾವು ವರ್ಕಿಂಗ್ ಕ್ಯಾಪಿಟಲ್ ರಿಕ್ವೈರ್ಮೆಂಟನ್ನು ಮಾಡೋದನ್ನು ಪಾಲಿಸಬೇಕು. ಸೊ ಈ ಒಂದು ವಿಡಿಯೋನಲ್ಲಿ ನಿಮಗೆ ಎಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ರಾ ಅಡಿಷ್ನಲ್ ಆಗಿ ಬೇಸ್ಡ್ ಆನ್ ಪರ್ಸೆಂಟೇಜ್ ಇನ್ಫಾರ್ಮೇಷನ್ ಪ್ರೊವೈಡೆಡ್ ಅಂದಾಗ ವರ್ಕಿಂಗ್ ಕ್ಯಾಪಿಟಲ್ ರಿಕ್ವೈರ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಹೇಗೆ ಮಾಡೋದು ಅನ್ನೋದನ್ನು ಕಲ್ತ್ಕೊಂಡಿದ್ದೀವಿ. Thanks for watching this video and I will see you in the next video.